Purpose Inspired TV is under construction. During this process, we invite you to step into the journey. By joining our team, you have the chance to shape the very fabric of this channel with your creative ideas and skills. We believe that the true essence of innovation lies in collaboration, and together, we can create something truly extraordinary. We will provide content that ignites your passion, inspires personal growth, and encourages a positive impact on society. Our focus is on delivering shows that are entertaining, thought-provoking, educational, and uplifting. We want to hear your voice, your vision, and your recommendations for individuals you would love to see on our channel. We aim to create a channel that resonates deeply with viewers, challenging them to think bigger, dream bolder, and live a life of purpose. So, join us today, and together, we can make a difference, one viewer, one show, and one purpose at a time.
She Got the Nerve, by Felisa Darius Skipper. This book is fictional, but factual. Based on my personal life experiences, She Got the Nerve delves into Lila's astonishing journey with wisdom, compassion, and boldness, providing inspiring insights into her mindset and the spirituality that propelled her to become who she is today. Surrounded by drug use and constantly hurt and neglected by her parents, Layla is left alone to suffer a world of sexual abuse, religious ruse, and relationship violence. Through the worst of times, Layla learns to rise above the dangerous lifestyle of the streets she grew up on by allowing the love and guidance of Christ into her life. Looking for a book that takes you on a thrilling emotional roller coaster ride? Well, look no further. She Got the Nerve is the book that will captivate you from start to finish. Get your copy today.
I see. I was just talking to myself. Had my mic muted. But let me start all over again. What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? I pray everybody's doing well. I wish let me know something next time. If you don't hear me, say something. But what I was just saying, so I'll say it again, so nobody could hear me. We are continuing to pray for those over in California and LA that's dealing with those fires. Our heart and mostly our prayers. So we can do more than just send our heart. We are praying, and then we are taking advantages. We're going to help when we have these opportunities to help. So we're going to do more than just praying and just talking about it. We're going to do something about it. So we pray for those who are in the line of fire. We're praying for those thousands of people who lost their homes. We're praying for those family members who lost loved ones during the fire. So again, our prayers goes there. We also pray for those who are in the line of the storms, all these winter storms that's going on with this big. anyway, the snow, the ice, the cold. So we pray that everybody stay warm. We pray for the homeless. Some do really don't have a place to go. So anyway, we're gonna get into it. I guess everybody. So we're gonna be talking about starting a conversation. I believe it's gonna end up being like a multiple series. The way this conversation got started, I think a couple of actually since we're in the new year last year, I think Sharice and some of her friends was over and we was having a discussion about women and they wanted my male point of view. And then I believe last, what was it, Veterans Day, the conversation came up again. So it was a good conversation about women and men and single women. And then the biggest thing I've been watching online lately is about this high value man, where a lot of women are in search of that high value man. So we're going to have that conversation. So I'm going to do a little talking first, and then I'm still letting people, I see people are joining in, so letting people join in. Then we can move forward. But I make this video to kind of set the stage of where we're going to be talking today. So I'm going to go ahead and play this video and go ahead and get started. But I hope people, as people come in, they can figure out what we're talking about. So I'm going to play this video first and come right back.
Social media is buzzing with heated debates, and one of the hottest topics is the struggle many women of color in America face in finding a high-value man. This subject has sparked countless viral videos, often filled with tension as women confront the harsh realities of modern relationships. In this live stream and TV show, we're diving deep into this complex issue. Together, we'll unpack the challenges, explore perspectives, and work toward practical solutions. Our discussions will center around the general public, average men, women, and societal norms, focusing on what is typical, not the rare exceptions. We will not go down the rabbit hole of what happened to one or two people. If it didn't happen to more than 1,000 people, we will not discuss it at this time. For example, while most children attend school for 12 years and graduate, there are exceptions. However, our focus will remain on the general trends that shape society. Join us as we engage in meaningful conversations to bridge gaps, spark understanding, and find common ground. From the mind of Lil Joe, like and share.
Okay, I am back. So we're going to be getting to that subject, basically around finding that high value man, or why can't I find that high value man? So I would like to start off with some definitions. So I believe one of the issues, some of the problems that's going around is a lot of people, one person or particular people will say one thing, and then another group of people will say something, and they really have the two different definitions. They're not on the same page. So if the people are not on the same page, they are not going to, they're not going to be able to communicate. They're not going to understand each other. And it's not, I think a lot of times I see they throw people of color in one big bucket. So everybody, people of color, they're the same culture, everything's the same. That is most definitely not true. I guess mostly everybody know that that's not true. Even, different parts of the country, they do, we're down in the South of Florida, we're in Florida, the South, and then there's the West, North, and California, New York. So anyway, anywhere, different parts of the country, they do different things differently. And things, so I guess let's talk about the dating scene. The dating scene is totally different in New York than it is in Florida. And the dating scene is most definitely different in Atlanta, Georgia, and California. So there might be some miscommunication of when people, trying to communicate. So this is just some basic definition I just wanted to start with, the definition. So one with, I guess, like I said, the main topic, we'll be going to different topics, but one of the main topics is the high value man. And so what does that really mean? And I just narrowed it down. I'm gonna start calling it HVM, just for short, for high value man. And so that's the thing. So I've seen it's a lot of, like I said, there's a lot of single women on the search for that high valued man. So again, so what does that mean? So a lot of people have different definitions on just what is a high valued man. What are they pertaining to? So as we go on tonight, I'm just going to be talking about quote unquote. I'm gonna give you these 10 things as like a definition of the high valued man, and so that's where I'm gonna be mostly sticking with. I'm not going to be going down the road of the dirty dogs, the guy that's out to cause harm, the guys that has caused harm, the guy that's baby daddy that's got kids all over the place. So we're not even going to be talking about them to start off. So we basically talking about that one that's got itself together. So I got like 10 things where this is from what women look for from a man, and I guess quote unquote call him a high value man. So I'm gonna just give the list of like the top, I don't know if that's the top 10, but like 10 things that women look for and they consider that a high value man. So number, I guess in no particular order, but I'm gonna start 10, go down to 1. Spiritual and morally alignment. So they have morals and values. 9, cultural awareness, especially for women of color. It says a high valued man may understand and respect and embrace culture, heritage. Number 8, physical health and appearance. So they want him to look good and want to be in shape. One of the other ones I've been noticing and seeing a lot of is women asking for him to be at least 6 feet tall or taller, so they don't. So a shorter man is considered not a high valued man, and porky or overweight man is not considered a high valued man. So it's a lot heavily on physical appearance. Number 7, respect and support. He respects the woman, her values, supportive to his partner and her goals and dreams. Number 6, committed and loyalty. A man who is faithful, values their partnership, values their family. Leadership and protectiveness. So the women, he expected to be a leader or the head of the house, protect the wife, bring security, physical and financial support. Number 4, character and integrity. So he has trustworthiness. He's honest, consistent. Number 4, ambition and drive. So I guess he wouldn't be a high value man if he didn't have ambition and drive. So again, so he has goals that he set. And we're going to number 3, emotional intelligence. A man who is self-aware, communicates effectively, and has respects her emotions. And number 1, financial stability. So that's one I've been noticing too. He has a steady income, financially independent. He's successful. He demonstrates responsibility in managing his money. So a lot of the videos I've been seeing where the women saying the high value man starts off with at least, well, the bare minimum is $100,000 a year, and some have changed it. Some say 150. And I even seen other women saying up to $300,000 before they consider that a high value man. So those are the men that they're going after. So that's the definition of what we're saying is a high value man. And that's really, like I said, coming from what women said the high value man is. So some other definition of so we talked about HVM, high value man. Traditional. So someone they're saying they traditional man. So the traditional man, I just put down a couple of things that may consider as a traditional man. Protects, provide, be home and be faithful, heads and leads the home, pays 100%, open doors, family first. And in these situations, a lot of times he does not consider the equal relationship. He feels like he's the head of the household and the wife is his help meet his support. And Under a traditional woman, we have submissive, a wife, a mother, makes sacrifice, puts family first, supportive to her husband in the marriage and the children. Then we have the modern women have to sit. A lot of times it's like, I mean, just like I said, different definition, self-centered, everything centered around her and wants things for her, able to dress as she will, go as she will, wants to be equal with the husband, make the same decisions with the husband. Yeah, I think it's, anyway, so we're talking about modern women. So that's a little bit of the definitions that we are going to be just going over. So I'm gonna just go ahead. Sharice, you want to join in? You can nod yes, but no. We'll keep going. So can you hear me, Sharice? I said, do you want to join in or no? I'm not getting a reaction from you. Can you hear me, Sharice? I can't hear you. So anyway, if anybody would like to join in, I'm gonna put the link out. Invite. I'm going to copy the link, and I'm going to paste the link. Okay. And enter. So that link should have just went out over Facebook. And good evening, Alexis. Good evening, B. So my link that just sent out. Sharice, I see your mic is on, but I don't hear anything. So I'm just go back into it until I see someone come in. So now we're talking again, a high value man. So I did a little search on, okay, what is this elusive high value man that so many women are looking for? So if you do the math, let's just start off with, let's do the math. Well, first of all, a lot of the men of color, so we're talking about American men and men of color. It says around 28% of our African American men have either in jail or spent time in jail. So a large percentage of them spent time in jail. A lot of them are in jail right now. So that's a nice chunk. So out of 100% of our quote unquote African American men in America, only around 10% makes $100,000 and above. So this everything is rounded up. I don't have a scientific down to the nose, but it's around 10% of the available. Well, I'm gonna say available. 10% of African American men in America makes above 100,000. So that's a lot of the men are excluded right then, just out of that. So we done went from 100% down to 10%. And out of that 10%, around 2% have that alternative lifestyle. Again, I'm just rounding off. So around 2%. So that leaves us with 8%. 4% is married. So you got 4% from 8%. That leaves what? 4%. So now there is 2% that don't meet the requirements. But what I mean by that, they're too short, they're too fat, too tall, they're too ugly, they're too something. They got too many kids. Something is wrong. So that kicks out 2%. And then we got 2% left. So let's just take half of that. Maybe that half is not interested in you. So now we got 1% left. So we got 1% of the African American men that makes over $100,000 a year left over. We have 80 to 90% of the women going after that 1%, trying to figure out why they're not getting their man out of that 1%, getting frustrated with where's theirs out of that 1%. I think that's where a lot of the problem is. Anyway, let's see. You got one. It's two broke, but I excluded the broke ones. I'm just talking about the quote unquote high value HVM, high value men. So that's that. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Tamika. Is not that many options left. So that's where I see a lot of our sisters getting frustrated because they're going after the same tiny demographic, that tiny slither of men, but there is still a slew. That's a good word. I need Dr. B to make sure I'm using the right word. There's a lot of average good men out there, but they don't meet that requirement of that high valued man. So there are some issues there. Even in relationship, it's supposed to be, say supposed to be, what is it? They call it the 80-20 rule. If the person reaches at least 80% of what you're looking for, you should be able to have a happy life. But I believe a lot of sisters are trying to find that 100%. Some of them looking for 110%. They're looking for above and beyond, and getting frustrated and getting mad and saying where they at. And I believe a lot of good men are getting overlooked. A lot of good women are being left out without someone because they're overlooking the other supply of men. We got the question: is money the only thing that makes him high value? No. So I can go over this real quick. I say this is what some of the women said that they consider a high value man. Just real quick, I'm gonna go over them. Spiritual, morally, alignment, cultural awareness, physical. So like I said, some of the physical and being in shape must look good. Some of the requirements must be above 6 feet tall. Physical in shape, so that means they're not overweight or not too big, look good, and that's still a lot of different definition of looking good, but they have the standards of looking good. Committed and loyal, a leader and provide protection, character and integrity, ambition. So I feel like they wouldn't be a high value man. They wouldn't even been able to make that type of money really if they wasn't ambitious. Emotional intelligence and financial stability. So that's the one where, like I said, nowadays I haven't seen, well, I don't know what in the past, but it seems like the time that we are in now, they put a number on it. They put a actual financial number of $100,000 plus. So a lot of times we see these interviews, or some people go on dates. So some of the women are in a rush to try to find out how much you make. So if you don't make $100,000, they really don't even want to go out. They don't want to go out with some men. So that's why we're spending so much time on the money, because that's what I believe a lot of women, that's what they're starting with. They're looking at the money. It's got to be 100,000 a month or plus. We're not going out. I'm not going to give you the time of day. You don't make enough. Next. So that's one of the reasons of this conversation is a lot of those. It's only 1% or 1 or 2% of the men that you're able to, in the dating pool left. So when you're limiting to 100,000 and above, So yeah, that's what, like I said, I got that definition from that's what some women are calling that, the high value man. That's what a lot of them are looking for. Anybody, were you able to get the link? No. So no. Okay, I was just checking and seeing was the link available. Okay, let me see if I can send it again. I'm sorry for the delay. I'm going to hit invite, copy. I already did that. Copy. Paste. Enter. Okay, I just popped in. Do you see it now? It's saying, I'm going to type test. So you see me test T-E-S-T. Enter. Uh-oh. Well, I need assistant to T-E-S-T. Do you see the word test? I just hit test. I don't know why it's telling me it's going to Facebook, telling me it's going to YouTube and everywhere. So where the link might be on, if you look on my Facebook page, if it's, well, I guess that's where y'all are on the Facebook page. I don't know how else. What? Hold on. I'm sorry for the delay. I'm trying to let people join in, but if you can't get the link, Facebook, I think somebody, Joe. Comment. I'm going to my Facebook page directly and paste. Okay, I just put it on my Facebook page. Coming back. So anybody can see that link and share that link. Let me StreamYard. Tamika. Okay. Welcome to the stage, Tamika. Am I saying your name right? You're muted.
Yes, I'm muted. I'm sorry.
Okay. How in the world are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I am blessed. I'm blessed. Go ahead. What's your comment?
Oh, no. I was just, you said to switch over to the,
okay.
to the link. So that's what I did.
Okay. Well, thank you. Well, you can stay there, and when you have a comment, you just go ahead and jump in. Like I said, I put the link on my Facebook page. I just can't click on it. I don't know what the issue may be. But I did put on my Facebook page. I guess I can go to the other Facebook. One second, let me do that. While I'm doing that, if some of y'all, I know y'all missed this video from the beginning, I'm gonna play this video real quick, what we're talking about, and I will be right back if I can get back to it. Phew. All right, play this video. I'll be right back. Go to Facebook.
Social media is buzzing with heated debates, and one of the hottest topics is the struggle many women of color in America face in finding a high-value man. This subject has sparked countless viral videos, often filled with tension as women confront the harsh realities of modern relationships. In this live stream and TV show, we're diving deep into this complex issue. Together, we'll unpack the challenges, explore perspectives, and work toward practical solutions. Our discussions will center around the general public, average men, women, and societal norms, focusing on what is typical, not the rare exceptions. We will not go down the rabbit hole of what happened to one or two people. If it didn't happen to more than 1,000 people, we will not discuss it at this time. For example, while most children attend school for 12 years and graduate, there are exceptions. However, our focus will remain on the general trends that shape society. Join us as we engage in meaningful conversations to bridge gaps, spark understanding, and find common ground. From the mind of Lil Joe, like and share.
All right, I'm back. I just put the link out on other pages, on my other page. Oh, I guess that's me. All right. So, I'm gonna just go down. I'm just gonna discuss about the high value men demon until we can get some comments coming in. So, what is a high value man looking for? Like I said, it's just that if we done narrowed it down, we done lost 90 to 95% of the men in society. So now we're down to the high valued men. So if we have a large percentage of the women going after this small percentage, 1%, 2%, what is he looking for? I'm gonna go ahead and Ashley.
Hi, sorry.
What's up?
Okay,
What's
there I
up?
go. I was trying to get I'm on my phone, so I was trying to go back to it to make sure I ain't miss anything. Trying to go into my Safari on my phone because I had to get off Facebook and go to it.
Oh,
And this found
what?
off. Okay, I don't know, forgot what you even said because I've been trying to do with that. Um, what was your question? Did I miss anything since like the
No,
last 5 minutes?
no. I played my intro video, but we still on that subject. Like I said, after I was just discussing about the math. If
Okay.
we're down to 2% or 1%, and a large percentage of this, I'm talking about the single women are after that 1%, and the frustration of that. So what I was going to do now was go down and show and come from another point of view. What is he looking for? But yeah, did you had a comment about anything else that we already talked about?
Yeah, I want to make sure I didn't miss anything before I say anything to this case. I was kind of late on something. But I look at a lot of like Pop the Balloon, Kevin Samuel, stuff like that. And mostly like I see most of the women side of view of how um what things that they want that you're saying, like, hey, I want to have him, I want this, I want to do this, I want him to have this much money. And then a lot of times I notice that not all women, but the women I've seen there are mostly selfish. Because he asks a lot of questions that I think some women don't really think about when it comes to it's not necessarily about a high value man, but a man in general. Um, I think sometimes even for me, like just starting up, like just I've been married for a while, but when I first started, I didn't really know anything about, I didn't even think about even just a high value and whatever the case might be. Um, it was mostly about I realize now this really about being content. And then I also realized too that um what you see now may not be what you see later on. So just say that this person's high value now, but what's going to happen if he hit rock bottom? You know what I'm saying? Are you still going to still look at me as a man, or is it still like, okay, I got to find somebody else that's high value? You know what I'm saying?
That's what
Um,
I've seen those videos, and that's exactly what they're saying. One said that the man lost his job and is not
mm-hmm,
responsibility to help him at all. And
mm-hmm,
other ones, he made a vow to take care of me, and he lost his job, so I'm gone. So it is. I think a lot of men have that when I say fear,
mm-hmm.
because the society we're in, um, like the women have the upper hand as far as in the court system.
Right, right.
So she can just say, I'm not happy. She can get a divorce, she getting half. If he cheats, she can get a divorce, she gets half. If she
Mm-hmm,
cheats, she get a divorce and gets half. So
mm-hmm.
the way it's designed, she is win-win. I just saw the other day this one lady up there talking about she's been married 4 times, just bragging about how much she gets,
Yeah.
in support, and then child support. And then she was talking about this how you do it. Like for child support, you start off with $200, and then you go back. I don't know how much she said, 3 years later or something like that. And then it increases from 200 to 400, then changes to 400 to 600, and before long you get $2,000. See, here's my daughter. I'm getting $2,000 a month for my daughter here, and she was proud of it. So that scares any type of man, not only just the high value man. That's what a lot of men are like shying away from even getting married
Mm-hmm.
because of that situation.
I feel like just being married myself and um I'm being honest, like you already know me and Corey, we got married really young. So a lot of things that we know now we didn't know. So even just about what being a husband, or just even just being a woman, like what is it to be a woman? What is it to be an actual man? Like um and then you add that in, you start read the Bible, you start realizing that I'm doing it to myself. You know what I'm saying? Like you're projecting to the other person like, okay, it's their fault. They're the one this, they're the ones that. But I feel like a lot of times if we look at ourselves, that's when we have more opportunities to or stuff would navigate or come to us as well. Um I feel like a lot of men or women, honestly, don't give grace, because I feel like even if right now this you say he not high value, right? He's making 40,000, whatever the case might be. You never know if that person may eventually make six figures, or how many high value man, how whatever amount that you think he or he should make. I feel like some people just need to be content for the meantime and allow things to grow. Things can change. Either you can have it now and then later on it goes back down, or you have it low right now and then he's as you're progressing, you're married and you guys are progressing together and y'all find out yourselves and y'all um sharpen each other iron, you start to realize, hey, I'm glad I did wait and I did have faith in this man that he was gonna do this or do that. I feel like a lot of people don't have as much faith in men or that woman. Mostly the men, because the men are the ones that have to, or you. Yes. Give me a second. Give me a second. Sorry about that. Um, a lot of women don't give men a lot of grace. And I feel like they don't have a lot of faith in men either to lead or to be like, hey, I this is what I'm trying to do. Can you just wait for me? Can you just you see what I'm trying to do? Just have faith to just wait, just be patient. A lot of times women do not have patience. I'm one of those people. I'm definitely one of those people. I didn't always have grace. Now I have grace and I see that it comes back to me 10 times fold. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Because it didn't start off high, it started off low, you know? And then
yeah,
eventually, as time progresses, you work on each other. You're like, I'm glad I was patient. I'm glad I showed grace. You know what I'm saying? Like, just and you have to just be that woman to just have faith that your husband or that man is going to lead you the right way. And a lot of
Mhm.
times women, especially modern day women, do not have that. They don't have no grace, no faith, just Jezebel spirit, don't want no patience, no fruits of the spirit, pretty much. And it comes down to that as well.
Yes. So you said something that I want to talk about a little bit too. What you said, y'all married young.
Mm-hmm.
I got to I guess anybody out there listening, anybody want to put this in the chat. What is middle age? What's middle age?
Maybe like your 40s, 50s.
As you say, anybody else? Anybody? What is middle age? I'm gonna pop at Kathy's comment up, but this is not to the answer. But we don't always have time to wait on someone's potential to turn into something great. That is true.
And I do understand that too. Yep.
Ooh, Sharice answered 30s. You agree with her on middle age in the 30s?
Yeah. I'd say 30s, 40s, or 50s. I don't know which one one of
Well,
those.
middle age, if we are on average living into
Hmm.
70, what's half of 70? 35.
Right.
But a lot of people, they believe and act as if middle age is 50, but middle age is really 35. And
Right.
another question, you here, I could talk to you, and I guess people can still chat. You can jump in. Anybody want to jump in? So, what is the age for geriatric pregnancy? What is it? What is a age for? They call it geriatric pregnancy, where women start having issues for starting to get up in her age in her pregnancy. When does that start?
I don't know. My internet went out and came back
Just
here. I don't know what happened.
Dr. Kathy said 60, but the answer is 35. Somebody said, and I actually looked it up, and sure, yeah, 35 is where the geriatric, yes, 35 or older. So a lot of a woman's prime is well before 35, and that's how can I word this correctly? So okay, if she's able to, all right, I'm gonna go this route. Say what let me go back to what a high value man, what is he looking for? So you got this 1% man that has picking anybody. So he's like, pick the best of the best. So these high value men are used to exclusivity, expecting the best. So what is a high value man looking for? A high value man is looking for like the woman from age 21 to 25. That's where she's a prime up until the age of 35. Have a woman that has her youth, have her beauty, have her energy, and have her fertility. So again, that's why I say at age 35, that's her fertility starts to drop. So a lot of these men, they're looking for women that's younger than 35. Let's see. Okay, 5 things that makes a woman's high value. Anyway, make a man to not want. Or let's say the value drop. So basically, I'm sorry, I'm getting this all wrong. Oh yeah, here we go. The 5 things that a high value man looks at to make the value drop. So he looks at the looks, the age, the weight, the number of kids, and the attitude. That's what a high value man is looking for. And when I said exclusivity, it's like a lot of these rich people, they want stuff for themselves. This is all mine. And that's the same thing, the way they feel about a woman, exclusivity to her, exclusivity to her body, exclusivity to her womb. So you see a lot of these guys like, okay, how many kids you got? That's one question that pops up. How many men you done dealt with? How many baby daddies I got to deal with? So a lot of these men that the women looking for, they don't want to have to deal with, you know, Tom, Dick, and Harry. So I think a lot of the young people coming up, they're not thinking about that. They just, they just have babies for the fun of it. And some of them they make a pact. Hey, girl, let's have a baby this year. Yeah, okay. They just having babies without thinking twice how their life going to be. And then now they raising these kids. Now, all right, I want me a high value man. I want a high value man to come in and be the stepdaddy. And he's like, why? I got plenty of picking of people who haven't had don't have children. So that's why I just want that message for the younger people to think twice about just willy-nilly having kids and then wanting somebody to come step up. And that's the other thing. I need a five baby man. I need him to step up and take care of my kids. And he better not have no kids either, because I'm not taking care of nobody other woman's kids, but he better take care of mine. That's not realistic. I see. Tamika just says you got disconnected.
Well, and I agree with you said about that as well too. A lot of times, when the woman is asked, okay, if you get this high value man, you have children, can he discipline your children? And then they're
Uh,
like, no.
yes, a lot of times they're like, no, you can't touch my child. You can't
So
discipline
it's
my.
so it's like, how is that benefiting that man? Like you're um wanting so much out of it, but what is it he getting from it too? At the
That's
same time, and it's like, well, you got to meet me halfway or something. Like you can't want me to just take care of your children that are not mine, but I can't discipline in my own house. That kind of just breaks up the order in the house as well too, because now you have kids that's not his, and then he has to deal with somebody else depending on who the child's father is, right?
that's
Hopefully
what
he's not
that's
crazy or something like that. He put his life on the line then too, to protect you or whatever the reason why you with that high value. You know what I'm saying? Like it just,
yeah. So that's
it's like a
half
big mess. Yeah.
any level, man. So yes, we've done some videos, commentation on some videos like that where the mothers choose their side of the child. If, like, let's say a teenager or an adult child that's not being responsible, and the new husband, quote unquote stepdad, is trying to help raise or help discipline, the mother is like, no, you can't say anything to him, you can't do anything. So basically I've heard one of them say, you can leave, I'm taking my son is going to stay here and you can leave. Or vice versa, where a child is young and the man is trying to discipline a young child, and nope, you can't discipline them, you can't spank them, you can't put them on punishment, you can't do anything, everything is through me. So that's not going to work either. So the kind of discussions that need to be had before the marriage, or if some people they skip the marriage and start living with each other, it's the same thing. So you got a man in the house with no authority, with no power, with you just there, and the mama is the one that's running the show. She's the one that's saying what's good, what's bad, what you can do, what you can't do, and he just need to sit over there and be quiet and pay the bills. And that's teaching that child to disrespect this man in the house.
Well, I feel like a lot of times, us women, we don't respect like men in general. So it may not come off like you may not intentionally say I don't respect men. Of course, it's not going to come off that way, like on purpose. But by the things that we may say or the actions we may take just because of the personal situation, it's going to come off as I don't respect this man. Because a lot of times your children look at every single thing you do. You think they don't really pay attention, or they don't know, but when you speak to them or talk to them, they realize everything. You're like, why are you acting like that? What made you think that was okay? It's like because I'm seeing you allow certain things in front of me. So if you don't respect that person, then why do I have to?
Yeah. So yeah, it's been taught. I'm gonna click on some of the comments. And Kat, I don't know. Hey, Sharice, if you are you able, if you can look on your phone to see if you can see the link on my other pages and see if you can send Kathy that link. I, I am unable to hear you. Um, Sorry about that.
You
I'm
need
gonna
me
ask
to
some.
drop off?
No, no, no.
Okay,
I
okay.
shared them. It was just
I was
Kathy. I
getting
don't know
to know if it could
why.
be more than one person up here or not.
Oh no, I can get a lot of people up here.
Okay.
Um, uh, that's why these so-called high-value men get these shallow women. Um, I don't think it's always shallow. Well, it's some shallow. But I've seen. This is what was funny. I like I said, it's you can see a video. It's people got videos on everything that you can ever think of.
Mm.
And I saw it's some women out there that saying that's all they want to do is look pretty and have the man to take care of. That was that was like, okay, that's good, that's fine. And then I saw a man, I think it was on, maybe it was a Pop the Balloon or some of these other shows, where that's what he said he wanted. He said, I got everything, I got all the money that I need. I don't need her to do no, to make any money. Don't need her to work. I don't need her to do anything. I just need her to look pretty. And they jumped all. Oh, that was on radio. I'm sorry, that was a radio show, a radio interview, and the women on the radio show was going off on him because he felt that way. But I'm like, there's plenty of women out there that's all they want to do is look pretty and have him spending money. That's all he wanted was somebody that looks pretty and spending money on. That would have been a perfect match. But so yeah, but it's all different types of people. But so we're basically kind of like talking a traditional relationship or a more stable relationship. So I don't think some people consider a woman that's submissive to her husband as shallow, and I don't that's some value. A woman that's putting her family and women that sacrifices for her family and sacrifice for her kids and steps up, like I said, when if a man, her husband, I don't even want to say a man, it's got everything. I would say you do different things as a husband, you do different things as a boyfriend, girlfriend. So what I'm saying is things that you do as a husband, the spouse. If your husband loses a job and the wife is able to hold it down, that's they're a team. They become one. But it's some women like, no, we married. If he loses his job, I'm not helping out with nothing. Some of them are working and they taking all their money and saving it and will not help their husband with anything. So they feel a man's supposed to pay 100% of everything. That's what I call shallow. If the man is trying to be I'm gonna say trying, a man is being a man, and then some situations come up, that's life. So one like, okay, it's he should have. But one of them was saying he should have prepared for that. She's leaving him because he didn't prepare for him losing the job. Since he got lost the job, she's out. She don't have nothing to do with him anymore. She's moving on. But that's why I say it's so easy for some women to just grab what they can grab and get out and go get with somebody else.
It was Fender. I want to interrupt you. What I was something else I was going to say was, a lot of times your values of what you're looking for, um, I feel like you have to question like your intent of it, like what um did your values come from worldly views, or was it biblical, or was it selfish, like what I'm saying, like if sometimes just say some women was just talking whatever, and some women go to work and some women stay home with their kids. Some women
Mhm.
society will look at that as somebody working at not working at home but stay home with their kids, like they're lazy, or they don't really do anything, or I couldn't do that because what if my husband, I gotta have a little stash, or I gotta have this and to have that. But the woman that is a stay-at-home mom is like, no, I'm doing this because sacrifice sacrifice for myself or what I want to do for my children, because they are the blessing. They're the ones that I have to make sure I'm pouring into before,
Hmm.
just being that something. No, it's like, because it's like not even saying to somebody that go to work that they're wrong for going to work. If you got to do what you got to do, but I feel like also that people don't look at that too. There are seasons too. You may see somebody in the season where they're at home because they're able to do that, and then it might be a season where they may have to go on to work, and it's really just depends. But just to point out that somebody that it's somebody that goes to work is neglecting their child or their children or whatever. It really just depends on. Thank you. It really just depends on where you at in your life at that time. And I think a lot of views are pointed off based on worldly views or what people may think or how things may look, or just depend on what may come about. And I think it should be based on biblical views of what a woman role should be and what a man role should be. I think that's a part of the reason, or I feel like that should be something that should be talked about. Of the where it's coming from, why you feel the way that you feel from
Yeah.
what you're trying to look for.
Yeah. So it is. It's an individual family. It's an individual marital decision. But it. So earlier I talked about the age of 35. That's when I guess women to say the clock is ticking. A lot of times it's like 35, and it's it start getting harder and harder to carry the baby. But
Mm-hmm.
then some women decide I want a career and not a family, so they choose a career and they work hard to get out there in the workforce. And then when they're ready to settle down and have a family, now it's like they're 40, 45. So now it's a little bit difficult to have to have that family there. So anyway, it's still it's so many different directions to go in that situation. So it is an individual based decision, but I still think some people may think they have more time than they really do. I'm gonna pop her. That's what a high value woman wants to. What is why are either wrong if this is their preference? I didn't. We wasn't saying. Yeah, somebody was wrong in their preference. But I think sometimes, let's just talk about preference real quick. Um, you remember I said women are quick, or you got to be 6 feet tall, or you got to be muscular. You got to look this certain way. So women are quick to say what a man got to look like. But then a lot of times the men, if they try to say what they prefer what a woman look like, the woman's gonna not all, not anything, everything I'm saying is not all, but I see a lot. They are quick to, oh, you 5'5", you too short. You know, you don't have the right skin color that I like. I like a little bit darker, or I like a little bit brighter. I like, I don't like the dread. So women are easier to or quicker to say those things to men, but men really don't have that liberty to say the thing in the back. Or now you're insulting them. So okay, since you want me to be 6 feet tall and muscular, why can't I ask you to be in shape? So that's an insult. No, you can't ask me that. No, no, no. So it should be able to go both ways. But so a lot of men, they don't say different things, but they just they'll fade away. They're like, okay, I'm not interested in that, and you really can't go into details. But I guess women feel like I'm straight up and tell you, you too short. A man can't say you overweight, and I don't like that. I see a lot of but anyway, I'm gonna leave that alone. Um, there was something
If
else
I
that
if I offend anybody, I wasn't trying to. I basically, I'm honest. I just go based on how I feel, or just say how I feel about certain things based on what I see. or what I have heard from other, other women.
Yeah,
Like
that's
this asking questions, you start to figure out a woman's mindset after that too. That's what I
right.
realized on a lot of these shows. Like you actually go on some of these shows and the men, the win the like I forgot what is the show called. I think it's called two something. It's like one of those podcasts, and he's like a young guy, and he has women and men on there, and he'll let the women say that, I like, like tall men, this, that, and that, whatever. And then he's asking questions. So, okay, just say if you got that, then okay, the man want you to stay home. Are you gonna do that? Well, I feel like I shouldn't have to stay home because da, da, da. And it's like, okay, you said what you had to say. Not ask you a question that certain man wants you certain things, would you do it? And then it's like you realize it's not really fair. So it's like, why should I pick you if I'm supposed to be the man and you want me, but it's some things that I require, then why are you doing it for me? And then
Right.
and one lady, she actually started crying because she said she wanted a certain man that was, a certain size or whatever, or a certain height. And then she was kind of on the heavier side. And he was like, saying like, okay, most men, he was just saying men in general that are high value, they want this certain woman, so you wouldn't qualify. And she started crying. But he was like, but you wasn't crying when you said you want a 5 foot man or you want a 6 foot man, but I'm 4 feet. Like I should cry. Like I'm not crying about it. You basically disqualified us. And
Hmm.
he was just like trying to get her to understand, like you can say how you feel or however, whatever you feel is how you feel, but at least be able to dish it out when it's time to as well, because just like you have an opinion, somebody else have the same, have an opinion too.
Yes, and I think that's what Kathy's saying. Men are that way; they just don't say it. That's yeah. A lot of times we try to uh, not hurt women's. I don't say women, anybody. We try not to hurt feelings, but seem like I'm just saying, not all the time, but I guess my example is online. If some of the women they could care less how they make the man feel, like you just said, you too short, you out, you ain't handsome. I don't like your hair. It's certain in some things I'm like, or even the clothes. How can you judge a person in one night, just the first time you ever met them, and because I don't like the color pants that person has on, they're gone. So somebody make this comment. When men try their best to qualify women, they do their best to try to, okay, if I don't like that, I'm still keep going forward. I'm gonna try to find something that I like. I'm constantly gonna try to find something I like in the woman. Women in general are quick to try to find something to disqualify. And we see that on the shows. The men, okay, I'm over, he don't say it, but you can tell I overlooked that. But what about this? I overlooked this. But women, any little simple things, disqualified. Disqualified. So I think a lot of, again, that's why we're talking about this. A lot of good men are disqualified too quickly. And I'm not talking about, again, we're not even talking about the deadbeats, the guy that's running around everywhere slinging it. I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about a decent, average man that wants to do right. And a lot of them are getting disqualified because of this or that. And then the woman goes home. Ain't no good man out there. But you just disqualified the man because you didn't like the shoes he had on. And now okay, you can say, all right, I don't look good in these particular shoes. Okay, I got 20 other pair. I just brought out this pair today. So I'm disqualified because of this outfit I have on. Let me see what men out. These women are overlooking these all the time. You saying what men are these?
I think a lot of times, what I didn't realize too was that women do look on the outside and the men do look on the inside. Um, and I also feel that a lot of people need to work on themselves so far as their intentions, what they want out of life. Just how can I put it? I guess their way of thinking on things, like how some men, or not some men, but some women want men to have all this money, but it's like you lack contentment, right? So just say like we were saying before, how if he didn't have the money now and he was working towards something, or just say that he had the money now and somehow eventually something came up and everything went down, right? Um, and you throw it away instead of just being with content what you have until you get to that point again. I feel like we a lot of times lack contentment. We want everything right then, right now, fast. And it's not always about that. I feel that way too. Which comes with patience as well, but contentment is on its own. I feel like a lot of people want so many worldly things. And I feel that if we would just be so content onto where if anything happens that it's all right, I'ma still love this person, right? And I feel like that's why a lot of divorces happen too so fast. Like somebody could have been, or even just being after 5 or 10 years. I've seen like where this one lady, she was with somebody for 8 years, and she was saying they divorced, or she divorced him, which most times the women divorce anyway. She just said that just they just fell apart, or they just this or this, and I feel like if someone was taught that man about what may have happened, it would probably be another story. But I just feel like when you don't you're not content and you're not talking about things at the beginning as well of how you feel, because a lot of people don't like to be honest. We're afraid of how the person's gonna react to whatever you want to say, but it's like a lot of people don't want to be honest from the get-go. They want to beat around the bush, or they want to be quick to get whatever they're trying to get. So far as like, okay, he meant this, he meant this, he meant that, but then eventually you start seeing that other things start coming up. You're like, oh, I didn't know all this stuff. He's a high value man, but he lacks empathy, or he's a high value man, but he don't have any patience. Or he's a high value man, but he's poor at being a leader, a father. So all of that is part of being content as well, because you can see things for what they are, instead of like what that person may have as well.
Mhm.
So I'm not sure if I'm making sense or not, but or to you or not, but
You are, but that you're going back to that the 80/20 rule. Um, if you are, if you can, if you marry somebody and get at least 80% of what you're looking for, you should have a decent marriage, and you can deal with the 20%. And I think a lot of times men could do that. I think a lot of women are still looking for that 100%, and I think that's where a lot of issues happen. And you actually said something earlier about that looks a lot of somebody. I just saw this somewhere online where men believe women are beautiful until he sees her inside. A lot of women think men are ugly until they see his inside. And a lot of that is to getting to know each other, getting to know the person. A lot of people that can look good on the outside, but they're just horrible on the inside. I just saw this one thing that Kathy put about what age group are these men. Um, I tried to make this chart. It didn't. I got this chart in my head, and I tried to get Chat GPT to make it for me. It didn't come out right. But if I can verbalize the chart, and so imagine a chart is starting with the age of around 20. I'm starting with the age of 21. Women at 21. Um, I don't know if the right word is value. So they Yeah, I'm talking about they are in high. Let's say it. Yes, they're in high demand for men from 21 going all the way up until if um, that pregnancy is at the age of, where they start having difficulties in their pregnancies at 35. So imagine this peak going up from 21 up to 35. So they are extremely sought after at 25. And that means from 21 to 35, they're extremely sought after. So they got all these men after them during that age range. And a lot of them, it's all a mixture. Everything, a lot of stuff is going on during that time. A lot of, especially some people nowadays, I don't know in the past, but I seem like nowadays it's like all sorts of babies and everything is happening. So they just getting with any guy that would spend time with them. But imagine, and they're spending time, a lot of time with the guys, quote unquote, I want to say this, quote unquote, low value guys. A lot of the women are getting, in general, I'm not talking about all women, I'm just talking about a demographic. A lot of women are getting pregnant by the no value men. The guys that's trying to build value, they don't have time for that. They should be in school studying. I got this, it's a prime example. It was this coach. This coach told or the dad, it was either dad or coach, told the young man, do not get a girlfriend. Do not get a girlfriend until you finish college. And he got a girlfriend, stuff started messing up. So then he took him out one day and he told him to stretch his arms out. He stretched his arms out. He put a bucket of water and filled it up to the top and put it at one hand, took another bucket of water and put it on the other hand. So he's holding his arms out, put a bucket of water on the top of his head. So I think he was like, one bucket represents school, one bucket represented the the football. It was another bucket representing something else, and then he was handing him another bucket. This is your girlfriend. So now you're going to be spilling and dropping and putting something down to try to deal with your girlfriend. So he was like, that's why I told you don't get a girlfriend. You need to focus on the school. You need to focus on the football. You need to focus on your purpose. And then when you get to that point where you get what you need, then get a woman. So that's what I kind of believe, and that's where a lot of the high value men that's focused, especially if they start young, they're on that path. A lot of times we call them nerds or the square, whatever. He not coming to the party. Or they having all these parties, they still studying, getting this stuff together, or practicing. Or Kobe Bryant, getting up super early in the morning, doing his thing, and staying super late at night when the other guys are going out partying. He's still in there practicing. So that's building up value. So now he might be, it's later in life for him. So sometimes he might be 25 going on 30 years old. And like I hear my nephew and some of their friends, I'm 30 years old and people talking to me because I don't have a child yet. You ain't even got nowhere close to being, a girlfriend, a fiance, a wife. So how you got this pressure of just having a child just because? But so men at 25, that's when their value start going up because they're able to get the jobs. So they're starting to make the money. So now so like I said, anyway, so now they might have started slow. I remember the women, they shot up their value and everybody was after them at the earlier age. But the men, I'm talking about the high value men that stand focused. Their value is low. It's like, you ain't coming to party, you ain't doing these things, you're not drinking, you're not doing. So that value low. I don't know about you're a nerd or whatever. So he kind of pushed aside. So now slowly in the background, his value is coming up. So now when he's older in age, he's got the value. And now the women who didn't pay him any attention before or didn't want to wait for him or went ahead and got 5 or 6 kids by somebody else, now they want him and they're mad because he don't want to step up and take on responsibilities that other men did. So I see that, I see that happening.
But it's like he wasn't high value the whole time. He had to get there. And it could have
Yeah.
been someone, a woman around him was like, hey, I see potential in him. And especially with when men is very focused and disciplined, he's not gonna want somebody that wasn't focused or disciplined as well, because
Hmm.
it takes focus and discipline to be like, hey, I'm gonna not do anything until I come married for a woman, right? But it's like, why would he go through that whole time of being focused and disciplined just for somebody just to have something other baggage when he's like, I have a clean slate. I worked very hard to get here, you know?
Hmm.
So I feel like I mean I totally I don't I wouldn't bash them because I mean I feel like I understand. When you work so hard to get somewhere, you're not going to let anybody or nothing stand in your way to where your hard work going notice. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Hmm.
you want to make sure you and that person, it's a very clean slate. Like, excuse me, it's a very clean slate of when you whatever you want to do at this point, now you're trying to do it. So if I want to have kids or whatever, I don't want nothing like, oh, somebody that's too old or however the case might be. But I actually heard someone say like high value men not really like the money that you expect them to have as to be a high value man. They say they're not like their late 30s or 40s or 50s when they actually become like to that sense to where they're like, I have money, like I'm high value because I don't got to the money part of I make millions of
Right.
dollars, whatever the case might be. So that's another thing. They don't have they don't have time to like for half stuff when it's like I can't fully prepare.
Yep. That's
So
us. Yeah, it sometimes it's 30, 40, 50 years old. Now they don't make that cross the threshold of $100,000. But they could have started young. So I'm fine if like I said, if they decide to go to college, a husband and wife, well, boyfriend, I still say after they graduate, let them graduate from college. And I say I'm with marrying young, staying together and working it out together, building a family together.
mhm,
And sometimes, even like with young men, they have to go off into the military. So I see a lot
mhm,
of those. I saw a lot of those situations. Uh, just getting out of high school, going into the military, year or two later, get married, have a child. It's hard, but they're building it together. She
mhm.
is home holding it down, raising the children. He's off in the military or like the police department, the fire department, these types of things, building it. And it's probably nowhere near, $100,000. They,
Right.
30, $40,000, but gradually they are building it and they're growing together. And then
Right.
two people, it's, two heads are better than one. So she being there on his side can probably help him get into that. If that's what their goal is, probably can get to that point even faster by working
Mhm.
together and not dealing with the ones like, again, a lot of these women, you need to take me on a trip. You need to take me to Dubai. You need to buy, pay for my hair. You need to buy me an outfit. It's so like, good gracious, so the dude's supposed to give his whole paycheck. Uh, that's what's
And
up.
his
I'm like,
life.
it's so many things they want. How can he build it up? How can he get anything up when they just, they got these, like I think I was telling Cerise, like some of these trips they want on their birthday. It used to be, a 10-year anniversary before we do one of these trips. Now they want every like one or two a year. And
Mm.
want, okay, you need to take me here and you need to take me there and then take me there and buy this and pay for my nails, pay for my hair. I need an outfit. And one girl, she wanted a whole out. They was going on a cruise and she wanted him to pay for a whole outfit for the 7-day cruise. It's
Mm.
like dump all this on me now and then I'm unable to make it to where you want me to go because I'm spending all my money on you. I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't do it, I'm gonna find somebody else who will. It's like
Yeah, the mentality.
crazy.
Yeah. It's I don't know, because I've seen like videos as well too when we think about like our great grandparents and they stayed in marriage, right?
Hmm.
For like 40, 50, 60 years, right? And
Two
now
problems.
modern day women like, I wouldn't do that. I ain't putting up my mom and my grandma them did. I ain't, but it's like if you were to go with somebody, let's say like y'all was together for 10 years, right? And you like, okay, he did something I like, so now I'm gonna go with somebody else. What's the chances of you go with somebody else and they won't mess up too? Like in some aspect, because we're all human. You know what I'm saying? Even if the smallest say like, okay, well, he doesn't show emotion no more. It'd be like something very, very simple. That could be fixable, right? I'm not talking about like fidelity. I'm talking about like little stuff. When you hear women that divorce men, a lot of times it's not always that it was something physical or it was something to where they cheated on them. Okay. So it's like what happened to us working in marriage, like working together in marriage, like to death do us part. What happened to that aspect of marriage now? Because it seems that everybody, as soon as they don't like something or the man don't make money anymore, he's not the way he used to be. It's like you just throw it all away, you know?
Hmm.
And then you read the Bible, you realize that once you get that person, you're not supposed to be going from here to here to here to here unless it's for like, infidelity. That's the main reason. And I would say abuse too, because nobody wants to just sit there and be abused by somebody, okay? But I'm just saying, like a lot of the times when you talk to women, it's not anything to where they can't fix it or be patient or pray to God about it. It just basically just like God ain't even in the picture no more.
Hmm.
It's just throw it all away. It's not about memories no more. It's about what I can do in the midst of the memories. I want to look a certain way. But what happens to the memory that you cherish in your heart to say, okay, I went with this person. It's our first time going to the bar, whatever the case might be. And I love the experience. It was genuine experience and not this way of this how I want to look for who though. You know? For who? It should be your husband. If your husband is there, but if your husband not caught on it or wanting you, he like you for who you are, then who are you doing it for? You know what I'm saying?
Yep. And that's where,
So
okay.
yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just saying how that's where women can use the same standard, but when you this is to men, when you dating a woman,
Mhm,
you got to find out there's two types of women: the virtuous woman or the worldly woman. So
mhm,
that's where you got to start off right there. You need to find
right,
out which one are you dealing with,
right,
and even in conversations. But this is for the young people. They're skipping all over those, so they got everything backwards. Where the body, let's get physical first.
right.
Let's get physical. Let's have a baby, and then, oh, I don't like you, and I don't like you, and they can't
Yep,
stand each other. But there's a baby there. So why we can't do it the other way and get to know who you having a baby with first.
right.
So how us older people should be trying to teach the younger ones, but as you see the way it looks like out there, they don't care. They don't want to know. They just buck wilding, and that's why I think we need these conversations to be able to teach them. And I don't. But some of them talking about that's just that's my environment. But your environment, if it's dysfunctional, doesn't mean that you still have to continue to live your life in dysfunction.
Mhm, right, right. And I agree with that because a lot of things that some people do, and sometimes it's subconsciously, but when you get married to somebody, you don't realize that some of the things they do was a product of their growing up too. And of course, you wouldn't know because you didn't grow up with them a lot of times, unless you knew somebody that, the person that you grew up with, you kind of knew. But a lot of times, you didn't know how that person was raised or grew up. So, like, you saw one, like, why they act like that? Not saying it's a bad thing, but sometimes, like, if you're a person that nags all the time, you probably been around a woman that nags all the time, right? So it's like you just looking at a person of how they are, but you don't understand like why they may do certain things. And I feel like, especially if it end up being something that you don't like, I think that's something that you need to talk about, like childhood traumas like that. You need to talk about all that in the beginning because eventually it starts to show up in your marriage, and then now you guys are 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years in marriage, and you're starting all over. So I just feel like, and then it's like you wasted time. Not saying that the person was wasting time, but you kind of wasted so much time, going past that. Then now you have to address it
I
to
think
get where you're trying to go.
there is an issue where um, there are some women that they are in love with the wedding,
Mm-hmm.
but not marriage, and they
Mm-hmm.
don't understand it. So they are all caught up on, I need to, you need me, you need to give me this beautiful wedding. You need to spend thousands of dollars. We need to put on a show for my
Mm-hmm.
friends for my wedding. So you need to do all this for my wedding. But then after the wedding, they have no clue on how to be a wife. They have no clue
Mm-hmm.
on how to live in a marriage. And I believe
Right.
that's a lot of marriages end because of that. They didn't know what was. They didn't when the rubber hit the road. I think a lot of people feel like the dating and the courting and all that stuff, that was it, and it would be supposed to live happily ever out. And some, like I said, they still don't. Okay, after you said I do, this is day one of being a wife, so that's different a role than being a girlfriend.
Yeah.
And they like being the girlfriend and not the wife. They don't want the responsibilities of a wife, but they really love. Somebody said, and I can see it true. Like a lot of the cartoons, a lot of different shows for
Mm-hmm.
little girls about the wedding and your prince is coming to rescue you and sweep you off your feet and marry you and y'all live happily ever after. So a lot of that programming is given to the women.
Mm-hmm.
That's not given to the boys. A lot of the boys care less about the wedding. We wasn't raised like, so we don't know that fairy tale that the woman is feeling. So I
Everything's
think,
sexualized too.
and so that's on their mind. I gotta have this wedding. I need my prince. I need that my prince, my quote
Mm-hmm.
unquote, my high value man to come sweep me off my feet and to give me this wedding and to take me to my castle and give me my Mercedes and do everything. Let's travel the world together. So it's that fantasy world. And then when real life hits, oh no, we got bills and we having a hard time with this particular bill and that particular bill, and some of them they bail out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm out. I was a lot, if especially like the pretty girls that had all the attention and was getting everything, anything they wanted, and now you got to be a healthy, not a healthy. Now it's time to be a wife. It's time to actually do this thing every day, every day, every day, every day for the rest of your life.
And choose that person every day.
Yeah,
That's the main thing. Choosing this person every day, showing grace every day, showing empathy, patience every day.
yeah. I think
It's
men,
harder than people think.
yes, men and women have that problem, but it's still, um, I know we're going a whole different direction that I was talking about. I guess people are not talking about that. Um, Different direction of what I was planning on talking about.
So go
But
ahead.
that the idea of happy wife, happy life. So we
Mm-hmm.
keep talking about that. It should
Mm-hmm.
be happy spouse, happy house. Everybody in the house is supposed to be happy. But if the person, and a lot of times the woman is looking for happiness, and you're supposed to be happy all the time. And some people were like, the man, okay, you not happy? You're like, no. Why are you not happy? Because I'm talking about men. I'm not in this to looking to be happy every day. I got a job to do and I got a commitment to make. So I'm doing the commitment. I'm doing my job. I'm going to work every day, whether I'm feeling happy or not. But I think so. That's why they say 80% of the marriages, 80% of divorces are started by women, and it's not because of money. It's because they wasn't happy. So they're looking for that happiness every day, and they're not getting that happiness, and they don't want the responsibility, so they go and file divorce. And like I said, it's easier for them. It's kind of like no fault. It's like whatever you want, you can get divorced. And so they feel like the grass is always green on the other side. So I just go get me another man. But some, I've seen videos of some that did that. And some of them where I don't know where the man was at. Let's just say he was making enough. If they say he was high value to her. Let's put it that way. Doesn't matter whatever. He was high value to her, and he took care of her, and he then helped educate her. So she felt her value increased. But then when she went and got her a degree and got a good job, and then got to the point of making more money than him, now she felt her value is above him. Now he's beneath her. So men don't care about the money. Most men. Most men don't care what their wife makes. But some women, okay, now I'm making more than you, so now have more power than you. Now you got less value. Now I got to go find me a more high valued man. So I've seen a couple where they divorced their husband and then got back out there on the dating scene and can't find nothing. Or it's just, should I call people trash? They say it's just trash out there, junk out there. So now they done spent 2-3 years looking for a replacement to the man that they had that took care of him. Now they want to go back. He done moved on, got with somebody else, and he's living happy out there. He's gone. But now they say, oh man, I had a good man. I didn't know I had a good man. But it was like, she thought that she had more value and she outgrew him. They say that I don't outgrew him or didn't outgrew the love. Like, how? So now you're doing better now. So now you think you're better than him. So now let me go back on the market and find somebody else. And it ain't all cracked up what they think it is out there. I keep hearing is slim pickings. And that's one reason I wanted to, have this discussion too. Some people had marriages, or some people might be struggling in their marriage. It's best. It's like they tell the man it's cheaper to keep her. It's probably in a lot of cases, a lot of women, the last man that you're gonna be able to marry is the one that you got. I don't know what the percentage is. It's a high percentage of women of color that's never ever gonna get married. It's just the way it is. There's so many younger women coming back along. It's the numbers. It's more women than men. So that means men have more pickings. So that means a lot of them are picking the younger ones over the older ones. So a lot of the older ones are, if they don't pass this point, they're never going to get married. So now my job, I feel, is if you are married, do your best to stay married, because you quit, you get rid of what you already got. There's nothing out there for you. There's nobody out there waiting on you, but some dirty dogs, the sex fiends. That's it. They out there, the what you call them, the leeches. So that's what's out there. Just a bunch of leeches, whatever you want to call them. And then he starts searching and searching and searching. Where's my man? Where's my man? You had him. So you need to go take it to God and help fix what you got, instead of throwing away what you got and then find out you end up with nothing. So that's one message I would like to get to whoever want to listen, if you got something to work with.
I definitely agree.
It's beating you down if it's like totally crazy. But if you just talking about you unhappy, or he didn't do this, he didn't do that. Okay. Especially y'all done spent a bunch of years together,
Mm.
and you can let that go and go back and try to start all over, and you think, hey, I'm gonna have all these guys knocking the door over to get to me. A lot of these women say, I should have stayed with what I had. I should have stayed with my husband. I should have worked it out. And it's too late. And then now they looking for what I supposed to do. And some women, it ain't nothing you can do. The numbers don't lie. There's some women, it's never gonna happen. It's just never gonna happen. So why give up and let go of what you got?
Sometimes I think it just sounds good to say you want to have a man, but when it boils down to it, it seems like that's not what you really want. Because what if the high value man was the person that was disciplined, or the person that had long hours, or the person that wanted you to be a stay-at-home mom, or this person, it's like different things that's the opposite of a lot of things we really want, right? Or they say he is most of them 5 foot, you know, and it's like
You got to
it
give up.
sounds good. Oh, he a nerd. Or he like to go to the museum and you don't really like that. You like that's so boring. He's the boring type, right? But if someone really sat down with you, like, okay, they didn't even say how you value man. They just asked the certain things of what high value man is, right? And
Mhm.
didn't necessarily say that that's a high value. They didn't quote it as a high value. They didn't ask a certain question to see like where your head at, right? A lot of women like the sound of having a high value man, but when you ask them the question of certain things that a high value man is, they're like, "Oh, I don't want that. Or I don't. I want him." It's like so. At the end of the day, it's like, what is your intentions? Of what you like, what is it that you are wanting? Are you wanting this that just say you want that ring, or you want that wedding, or you just want to look a certain way in front of your family, or what is it like that you really want from having a per se high value man, right?
Mhm.
Intentions do matter,
Yeah.
because I feel like when you finally get married and you get that high value man and then something wrong, it's like it's what you say you wanted, so like what is it now, you know?
Yeah. But I see this also where a lot of the quote unquote modern women want a traditional man. So they want the privileges of a traditional man. That's what I mean. They want the privileges of a traditional man, but she wants to be a modern woman. A traditional man is one of the biggest thing is to be the protector. So as a protector, he's supposed to protect you at everything. And even so, if you're going to go outside the house, it's still his job to protect you outside the house. So part of that is if he knows how men thinks and he sees an outfit that you haven't on, like, oh no, that's not safe for you to wear that. So she don't want to be a traditional woman. She wants to be a modern woman. Modern woman says, you can't tell me what to wear. You can't tell me how to dress. You can't tell me not to wear this. So that's going to clash. A traditional man and a modern woman ain't going to work, and vice versa. A traditional woman have the traditional or biblical values, and getting with a modern worldly man, that's not going to work. Major issues, but that's what they looking for the good. They want all the privileges of what you can get from a modern, even like the let's say this discussion, the 50-50 thing. That's just driving me crazy over the 50-50. So, and the traditional man, a lot of times we feel pay 100%, but now a woman's like, I'm equal to you. I make decisions just like you do. I'm gonna be in, everything just like you. We are equal. Okay, you want to be equal? Be equal then. 50-50. Oh no, no, no. So how you want the benefits? You want all the benefits, but then none of responsibilities. And I think that's where they're bumping heads. They're bumping heads now because of that. So it's like a lot of women, they want everything given to them, but then say when the time for the man to be the man to take the lead. No, you can't tell me that. I'm just as equal as you. Okay, if you're equal with me, pay 50-50. No, you the man, you're supposed to pay 50-50. You can't have both. You can't have your cake and eat it too.
If
You
much is
can't have both.
given, much is more required.
But that's what they're trying to get both. And I don't understand it. But I can see like where the man coming from. Like I said, you saying you equal and everything's the same. All right. Yeah, I saw this one video. The woman's like she equal to her husband. They 50-50. So okay, so she was like working on the car. She was changing the tires. She was cutting the grass. He was sipping on the tea like she would have been doing. He would have been fine with her sipping on the tea. But I guess she says she, on an equal level with him. Okay, all right, you equal with me. You do that. Go ahead and change the tire. You go ahead and cut the yard. I vacuum if it feels good inside. So I don't see, where that's benefiting. But I guess that's just the way the society is. That's where it is now. But I think, that's why they're bumping so many heads and wonder why they clash and why it's not working. Why it's not no understanding. Because they're coming from two different points of views and it's not lining up.
Well, you look at, Adam and Eve and what happened with that and why God made the order that he made, it makes perfectly sense. It makes so much perfect sense because when a woman does things out of order, it messes up. Not if I'm just saying, not the man is the one that's doing it out of order. If he allowed the woman to be the leader, but I'm just saying, like when you allow a woman to lead, you see how it ended up. You know what I'm saying? How
Mm-hmm.
everything just went to ruins just because the woman felt like she knew what was best. And I'm glad that's why God was like, no, the man needs to be ahead and then the woman needs to be after. And I feel like if woman realized, not even say her place, but just that order that God ordained in marriage, I think it would be less confusion as well too. Not saying you have to shut up and just not say nothing and just do what he say, like just like you know what I'm saying, just being like a little mouse, but I'm just saying like to have that respect. If like he wants your point of view, whatever, or you give your point of view, then do it with a gentle spirit. I feel like I'm working on that too. So I'm talking to myself as well. But the man is the head, and I think if women just back down a little bit, especially in our culture, just back down just a little bit and just let him lead, it'll make more sense. Because when we think we could do things, and it sounds. I mean, not saying women don't have a good insight on them. I'm not saying that at all, because sometimes we do have good insight. But I just feel like a lot of times we come off aggressive and then we come off, masculine, and it can't be two masculine people in a relationship. It can't be two feminine people in a relationship. So somebody got to back down. And when the woman backs down and you're more pleasant, a man is most likely, 9 times 10, is going to respect your opinion and consider your opinion at the same time, just because you were a little less masculine in the situation. I think a lot of times we're just so eager and we don't really think things through sometimes a little bit compared to a man, because the man is more logical anyway than we are. We go based on our emotions. A lot of times when we think about things, we do things, it based on our emotions. It's not really that we think logically about now and the future. The man sit back and he's very observant. He understands like um his, like, not even just his role, but he's closer to God anyway because of the order. So a lot of times like he's thinking about things long term, or what he could do now, so in the future it could be a lot better, or whatever the case might be. But us women, we go off right now. We want to get it done right now, and then later on we're like, oh, we didn't think about that. But we
Mm-hmm.
so in our emotion. So that's the
Yeah,
main reason.
I saw two separate videos of two separate women who said that they was very aggressive in their marriage, and then they decided to be submissive. They decided, like what you said, they took a step back and was submissive and listened to their husband. And then both of them were saying they were so shocked that their husband wouldn't do anything without calling their wife first. So there was like one of them making a business decision. I can't do nothing until I call my wife. And another one, same thing. I got to talk to my wife. So before they was trying to, push their opinion on the husband, and that were agitating him, and he didn't want to hear from her. But then when she backed back and was like, I'm gonna be submissive, that's when he, every single time, he went to her to ask her for her opinion. And so she was like, it seemed like I got more power than I did before when I was pushing. So
Yeah.
he got more respect. Yes, he got more respect for you now. And he has more respect of your opinion because he let you let him take the lead, and now he's gonna add your opinion into his opinion. But before, when you was trying to be the boss, he didn't want to hear it. So,
Yeah.
and I don't know, there's something else about being submissive. A lot of women, they consider that word submissive a bad word. I think we were talking about this other day. I think it was easier. The word is easier. So it just was profound to me, to where the word, when Jesus was about to leave, Yeshua was about to leave earth, he said he had to leave. He was leaving Holy Spirit. And the word he used was Ezer. I hope I'm saying that word right, Ezer. It's the Hebrew word. And so that was the helper, the support system. Whatever you need, that's what the Holy Spirit is here to do. To be by your side and to be your assistant. Just everything. I don't know all the adjectives, all the different words that they describe to what the Holy Spirit is supposed to do, for everybody that receives the Holy Spirit. That same word is what God used when he said he was giving Adam a helper. He used the same word. So it's like the same responsibility. It's not that she is less than him. She is like what's holding him up. She's what's helping keeping him going. She's the support system. She's that help. It's like, it takes, it's like when you're trying to lift a couch, it takes two people. So he's not able to do it by himself. So there's a lot of things that the man or the husband is not able to do by himself. And that's why God said it's not good. So my understanding, even from the word good, if you look at in Genesis, everywhere where you see where the Lord said it is good, think of the word as it is complete. So everything he did when he was done, he said it was good. But put the word, when he'll finish this, it is complete. And then when he got to Adam, it is not good for him to be alone. It is not complete for him to be alone. So the wife is to complete the husband. They're supposed to, what God say, when you get married, you're one. So you're still a half a person until you get your spouse. So anyway, if we just look at really what the Bible is saying, so we're not saying that a woman is less. A woman completes her husband. She is kind of like the backbone or the major support system. It just so many. You can just go on and on and on and on. But most people look, that word, submissive. Oh no, I can't do that. But
Or even just servant. Servant looks at the bond like bad too.
But when a man responsibility is to give up his life for her, she's not required to give up her life for him. He's required to give up his life for her. And so I can't be submissive to you, but he's supposed to have his life ready to go for you. So his life, so it's like, he's offering his life, and all he's asking is submissive from submissive and life. That's a whole big difference between each other. Whew.
Right.
We've been almost 2 hours. What happened? I was getting comments. I'm gonna put Sharice's last comment is marriage is work. Yes, we veered off on our subject to end up on marriage. I don't know where the single lady's at, but yeah, we go into marriage, so that helps the people who not married yet, people who are married, and the people who have been married. Any conversation about marriage, and they're still talking about a family restoration, any kind of but yeah, we should always be praying for family restoration. But um,
I have a
that's what I
question
want.
for you as well.
Yeah, go ahead.
What impact do you think our culture have on what we're looking for, or just like marriage in general, like our outlook on marriage? Like what impact or how much impact you think it has on our decisions, on like the way we think of what we should look for, like we look how we talk about high value man or whatever the case might be. Like, um, what is your take on that?
Wait a minute, give me.
So you know how like with our culture is black culture, right? It
Mhm.
seems like a lot of time when we are talking, we are going through the same thing, like we're saying the same thing, or we're looking for the same thing, but it's like we don't have any good outcome or some outcome that we're looking for. And I was saying, based on our like the black culture, like what do you think like is the impact on that? Like what we are looking for, um like how does it you think it impact, or what's the impact of the reason why we don't have the outcome that we're looking for? We're looking for the same thing
Um,
because because a lot of people are not looking outside, their race or whatever. They're mostly looking
but
inside their race. But
well, I want to start off with. I know this is a curveball. I
mm-hmm,
don't think we have a culture.
mm-hmm,
It's what I mean by that. A lot of times, okay, all black people,
mm-hmm,
that's a particular culture.
mm-hmm.
It's not. So we're really it's several different cultures inside the culture.
Okay.
So it's the church folks culture.
Mm-hmm.
There's the younger generation. They have a culture. Um, there may be people in other particular parts of the country. They may do things and believe things totally different from than us down here. So that's why I say
Mm-hmm.
it's not all one particular culture, and I think that might cause some kind of uh, issues too, because we're too different to be put in one pot. I can remember
Mm-hmm.
I don't watch the BET Awards, but one night we was watching it, and that stuff that they had up there that was representing quote unquote our culture.
Mm-hmm.
That's not my culture. But because, like I said, since
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
all in the same pot, but that's why I think we should. I don't know how, but the culture should be broken up,
Mm-hmm.
and then so whenever you're talking about the culture, okay, this particular culture, let's say, so we can talk about the culture of the believers. There's a certain thing that's going on inside that particular
Mm-hmm.
culture, and there's some that's on the outside. So the ones on the inside believe certain things about marriage. They really think highly of marriage and do their
Right.
best to keep marriage. Let's think of the culture of Hollywood. They don't
Mm-hmm.
have the same values that they haven't been taught the same thing as believers. So that's why I
Right.
say it's hard to put everybody in the same pot as far as talking about culture. But I think we should be examples. So they will, yeah. We quote looking the same. So yes, looking the same, being people of color, we're in the same pot. So there are people gonna when we go out in the world, they're gonna look at us. And I think a good marriage should be an example, even like online. We have examples of bad behavior. We have a lot of examples of people talking bad about marriages.
Yeah.
People, you remember I was saying about the way a lot of men feel. I said like a lot of the older men, especially the ones that's done been through divorces. A lot of they've been through the system where a lot of that stuff has been taken from them. So I guess yeah, they're against They're totally against marriage. So now, then you're looking at the younger people to be in our culture, outside of our culture, but a lot of the younger people, if some of the women are just all over the place and trying to just get what they can get, got all these
Yeah.
dudes buying stuff for them. So that's putting a, so they're like, why would I get married to her? So
Right.
we just try to get as much booty as I possibly can and keep it moving. So marriage ain't
Right.
on their mind. So then as time go on, that's what a lot of the younger men, that's all they, okay, just have booty. Just, get as many girlfriends and just cycle through them. And a lot of the women like that too. But then as time, now the woman, okay, now maybe it's time to settle down, maybe it's time to get married. A lot of the men ain't not there. A lot of the women didn't require him to go that route.
Mm-hmm.
It's I just popped in my mind. It's some country where it's like they have like 90-something% marriage rate. Is huge. And
Really?
it is one of the cold countries, but just about everybody they looking forward to marriage. They're getting married and they staying married because it's their culture. I'm talking about the country. I'm not talking about a particular rate. I'm the entire country. Their culture is for the family to get together every Sunday. It's their culture to go to church on Sunday. It's their culture for you to be in at night with your family and not on the streets and not in the club.
Right.
It's their culture. So now it's a 90-95% percent rate of marriage there. So that's the entire country, that's their culture. But now with us, we got all these different, so many micro cultures that it's kind of like all over the place. But still somebody, somehow, some way there needs to be an example. But a lot of the believers, the divorce rate just as high as the non-believers. So why would non-believers take a look at believers when the divorce rate is just as high? It's the same. So it's like, okay, if I find me a woman in church, or find me a man in church, we're gonna work out. Like it's just the same because they still have that idea. And again, I don't want to try to pick on women, but it's still 80% of the women are the ones that's filing for divorce. So yeah, it's some dirty dogs, it's some men that's messing things up for marriages, but there's a large percentage of it just not happy. So a lot of women looking at the world, looking at all the stuff that's going on outside. When they outside, look at all that fun, all that stuff going on. But we dealing with bills, we dealing with issues here. It's easy for me to let him go and go and find me a dude that's outside. Everything's gonna be better. So that's kind of like got to get to the point of stop looking for the grass green on the other side and just being satisfied. But going back to the foundation, how does it start? How did you build it? Is this a godly relationship that was built up? People say what God has put together that no man put asunder. It's a lot of relationships, a lot of marriages God didn't put together. So we can't blame God on those falling apart, but the ones that God did have his hand in it, it should last.
I feel like there's a lot of times accountability for our own selves. A lot of times you hear people or women that talk about what make the marriage end. It's like, oh yeah, the man. But it's like, I didn't do anything. I was this, I was that. But it's like, it's something you had to work on. Like you're not going to be accountable for anything, nothing. Like you're not going to put yourself low so you get exalted. Like you just going to exalt your own self. like you did nothing wrong. So it's like I had to learn that, Joe. Like I wasn't be like, hey, I was putting fagels, but then I realized it was me too.
I done seen at least five. I done seen 5 videos of women saying how hard it is to be found to be wrong, and it's they rather die than to admit that they were wrong. And it's like it hurt me to my soul. So it's like didn't want to be held accountable and didn't want to be found wrong. And if they are found wrong, they still right. And that's what a lot of time where that manipulation comes in with the
Prideful.
shame or crying or just any of this to try to manipulate the situation
Mm-hmm.
still to keep that control. So that's damage too. Because a lot of times the women, oh, he don't know I'm manipulating, but a lot of times he do. They don't say nothing, but he do.
Yeah.
And they got his stuff in the back of his head. Either I'm just gonna deal with it, just put up with it, or I got something on my sleeve. How I'm gonna deal with that. So that's not good. But yeah, I do see a lot of women saying it is so hard to be. They don't want to be held accountable, and they don't want to be found wrong. Anything, just like I got to figure out a way to get out of this. It's always his fault. But it's crazy. Well, I thank you for your time. We done went for 2 hours, and we stopped getting comments. So if anybody out there
Okay.
still listening to us, you got any final comments for us, any questions for us? Well, thank you, Ashley, for joining in. Thank you,
Thanks for having me.
Thank you, our other people who joined in. I think some popped in because we've been up here a while. So I thank you, and
good conversation.
Yep. And I'll take some inbox people listening, send me some messages for us how to further the conversation. I believe these conversations help a lot of people, especially younger ones. That's what we need to catch some of these younger ones while they're making some of them making horrible decisions. Like their mentality on, relationships and babies and all this kind of stuff. Like, seem like nobody is teaching them, or their culture is teaching them. They bring as many babies homes as you want to, and no accountability.
Okay.
So again, I thank you.
All right. Talk to you later.
Yep. Good
Bye,
night.
y'all.
Good night. All right, everybody. Thank y'all for joining in. We started talking about a high-valued man. I think we talked about that for about an hour. Then we started talking about marriages. So we had a lot of good conversations this evening. So again, thank you all for joining us. If anybody would like to be a part of our channel, Purpose Inspired TV, we're on Roku, we're on Fire TV. So join us again. Just go to my other pages if you don't mind. Purpose Inspired TV, From the Mind of Little Joe, our YouTube, Facebook. I'm in a whole lot of different places. Look for me, look for some of the videos of me and my wife, me and my niece. We're just out here to entertain and bring some education. All right. Again, thank you all for your time. Everybody have a good night.